The Bolthole. The Bolthole is a very important location to my kind. It can come in many forms, but the message it sends to you is very clear. You are not welcome. Our kind must always have a bolthole to which we can retreat. This is our sacred territory, where you are not allowed to venture. When we first engage with you, you should notice two things which invariably occur. We will spend most of our time where you live. This enables us to stay by your side as often as we can in order to continue our seduction of you. It also means that your resources are the ones that are used up. It is your food, your cable bill, and your utilities that we use, and since it is your home, we will not contribute to those bills. If asked, we will point out that we have our own overheads to cover, although of course they will be reduced as we are rarely there. We stay at your house and ensure that you provide us with a set of keys so that we may come and go. You are invariably not given a set for our house. When we decide that we want to engage in our methods of gathering fuel, or we decide to subject you to a period of the effective silent treatment, we return to our house. You cannot enter, and we are able to watch you pleading and begging through a gap in the curtains as you turn up wanting to see us, as you try to work out why we have just disappeared. On the occasions we do allow you to stay at our property, then this is little more than a license which is revocable at a moment's notice. If we want you out of our space, then we will turf you out, irrespective of time, weather, or convenience. We like to do this to reinforce that it is us who is in control in this relationship and not you. Even if we properly move in together at one property or buy another one together, we shall manipulate the situation so that your house is sold and the proceeds are used towards the joint property whilst we keep our house on. You will be puzzled by such a move, but we will find an excuse to do this. For instance, we will explain. It represents a useful investment opportunity, so I'm going to keep it. Or, now is not the right time to sell in that area. Or, I need a pied-à-terre for when I work late in the city. Or, I want the market to pick up first before I consider selling the property. Or, I don't want to sell it because my ex-wife will come sniffing around for a share of it. We will find a reason not to sell it. This is of course not the real reason. We want to keep it as our bolthole. We may decide to provide you with a set of keys for this property, but then when you try to use them to go inside to find us, the door is bolted, so you cannot access the property. Your shouts of frustration prove to be delicious fuel as we sit and listen to you. Sometimes we will use hotel rooms as boltholes, or the office, or a bar, as long as it is somewhere to which we can retreat and have you guessing as to where we have gone, as you frantically telephone and text us, then it serves its purpose. If there is not another property, we will create a bolthole within the house that we share. The study will have a lock fitted, and we keep the key on our person all the time. It may be a man cave in the basement or the garden shed, but there is one simple rule concerning this bolthole. It may be in or around our joint property, but you are not to enter it, ever. We regard this as our throne room where we sit and plot our schemes. The chosen few will be admitted in order to emphasize to you how you are not special enough to be allowed in, and thus this prompts a further reaction from you. We know it will drive you crazy, wondering what we are doing in this place, especially if our guests are of the opposite sex. We will spend hours in this place, secreted away, often sleeping there too. Here we can send our messages and engage in our telephone calls with other sources of fuel, free from the interference yet still gaining fuel from you, as we know you will be in a spin, thinking about what we are doing. We can enter the chat rooms, work our way through the dating sites, and blitz social media, all entrenched in our control room. We will delight in sending you a message compelling you to bring us food and drink and leave it at the door. You are, of course, somebody who will comply in order to try and sneak a glimpse of what is going on inside, or to try and talk to us, yet the door will be pushed closed in your face. On occasions, the bolt hole will be temporary in nature. Should we decide that we wish to exercise some withdrawal late at night, when you are expecting intimacy and lovemaking, we will move to sleep in the spare room, sliding across the lock that we had fitted. We will lie there smiling as we hear you tapping on the door and sobbing for us to come back to the shared bed. The bolt hole is very important to us. It allows us a clear way of reinforcing our control and superiority. It provides a base from which we can engage in our schemes and plotting, and it is crucial in the implementation of silent treatment against you. If you realize that the person you have a relationship with creates and uses bolt holes, there is every chance that he or she is one of us. Now you know it to be the case, but you are still not coming in.